Okay, I got a hideout I need to find, and I have no idea how to do that. So I'm gonna go ask buddy over here. At this point, I really don't want to wander anymore. Hey man,
God
we
bless.
kind of fucked it.
Hinnet gave Hogg a peculiar riddle, and we can't quite figure it out.
Old Greaser was known for those. Tell me then, what did he say?
A vineyard in the town. Strange, but who knows? And yet there it is, quite nearby, by the water that gushes. Now listen and try to keep your eyes open so that you can tell. Shortly after the midday bell, you'll find us where the shadow goes.
Sounds pretty mixed up to me. A vineyard. I only know the one outside of town, but Riddle mentions one inside of it. It must be something similar to a vineyard, and the part with the water might be a well? Or maybe a fountain?
Well, thanks. I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Great, thanks. We got nothing. So basically, the two things are still this possible vineyard and this possible fountain. I'll go there since there's a teleport spot. But oh, now the fountain doesn't catch my eye. Motherfucker. Every time I come here, the fountain has a left alt thing to make me look at it, but now it doesn't.
You made a fool of yourself.
Wait, now it doesn't. A vineyard in the town? Strange, but who knows? And yet there it is, quite nearby. By the water that gushes. Now listen and try to keep your eyes open so that you can tell shortly after the midday bell. You'll find us where the shadow goes. Do I need to wait until the midday bell?
Good day.
Is there something that's gonna happen at 12 o'clock? I need to wait for a bell, basically. Ah,
A fountain?
now I can examine it again.
Where does the water come from? Here, in the middle of the city.
Okay. So now I could look at the fountain again.
My humble respects.
It's around lunch. Shortly after the midday bell. Where the shadow goes. This is either some guy who's sneaking around, or maybe an actual shadow. Like this. Pointing that way. Or something. Come on. Sound the bells. Okay.
My humble respects.
Scare the shit out of me. Do we see anybody? Housewife. Townsman. No. Nobody sneaking around. I can't get up here. That's fair enough.
God grant you health, sir.
Greetings.
Is this the shadow? Shadow seems to be pointing this way. Somewhere in here, or maybe somewhere in here? God damn it, it's right in the fucking corner. But I can't get into this building. Can I? Is this even... You
Good to
sneaking
see you.
around?
God be with you. How's the watch going?
Not bad, so far.
Oh, there's still time in the day.
I should eat something. Nobody's opened this door in ages.
What? How the fuck do you know? Oh, because of all the cobwebs. So I guess...
It's pretty musty in here. This is no regular cellar.
Shit. Somebody's looking for me. No, not anymore. I I missed the quest text.
This must
Parchment.
be it.
Some boots. Sviatoslav's love poem? What? Fuck is this? Oh, I remember. Okay. Parchment with drawings. Oh, okay. Wait, I can't go in further? This was it? Okay, what the fuck happened? So I found the hideout. This was the hideout somehow. That's what the fountain was pointing to. Okay, fair enough. And I found that parchment. That was what I was supposed to find. Oh yeah, about the symbols. Okay, okay, okay. Now I remember. Can I teleport from here? No. But I also want to read this. I mean, it was good. Was it this? Okay, so the circle means there's a chest with valuable shit. The dog means there's a warning. There's no loot. The keys seem to be loot. The T is the buyer. No, I'm gonna take a snip of this because it seems to me like this guy might want to take it. But other than that, yeah, I think we can go turn this in. This was a weird quest. And yeah, let's try to keep an eye out for symbols on the houses. Oh, I overshot.
You're
Is that an invitation? Thank you. Oh man, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go eat something first.
certainly have no fear.
Missing.
You done?
What was it I wanted?
Just stop mixing the fucking food.
I don't know yet. I'll have to see.
Maybe he has something to eat. Yeah. Yes. Something with durability. Nice. And something for right now.
I could go for something to eat now.
Oh well. Hey, Chenyuk.
Day to you.
I've deciphered the meaning of the symbols.
Fantastic! How do you manage that?
Well, it was pretty confusing. But in the end, I managed to find the old thieves' hideout.
And what about Hogg?
He helped me find it. In his own way.
Great! He may be thick as a fence post, but his heart's in the right place.
All the symbols are on this parchment.
Let me see. I'll copy them. These will come in handy. Imagine the look on Sigismund's face when his rich friends in the city start running out of silver.
Here they are. I'm glad I could help.
Tunnel markings. Great! And I saw this symbol for riches on the house right next door. You can go and check it out if you want.
Do you have any more work for me?
Well, do you?
Not just now, but something's coming. I'll send for you when the time's right.
Do you want to know? No. So, I'm just pouring some water. Give me a moment. We got this. We have the house next door, who we know to be rich. So, I'm gonna go look for that. Just a bit, just to see what rich means, in the words of some thieves from presumably some tens of years ago.
Why the hell
Before
do they pour the
Sigismund.
beer on the my respects?
Okay, let's see what that house next door has. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. Maybe I drop some of this shit. Yeah, fitted coat. Nobody wants you. Also, I need to sell all this stuff at some point. House next door, eh? I wondered about telling him about Knuckles for a moment, but decided against it. Not sure why. Well, if I'll be honest.
Always welcome here.
Where's the fucking house next door? Should I talk to Knuckles?
God bless you, sir.
We'll never be able to decipher the symbol.
Dobrodela, but
Sure.
Your next letter. Why did I receive this?
Going to bake bread today?
Aye, aye.
I can't tell him about the Knuckles now. this the house next door? With the markings. Yes, not.
Good to see you.
You're always welcome.
Why would they do it in the inner courtyard? They do it in the outer courtyard. I don't get it. Where the fuck is the house next door? Look at this shit. This is so complicated using these markings.
At your service, sir.
Ah, fuck it. I'm gonna go read some stuff. I don't know. Let's look at books. So, horsemanship, drinking, alchemy. Alchemy is okay. Length 6, eh? What else do I have? Agility. I'll just take it in order. Some of them I apparently don't have the skills to do, but oh, and we're back to agility. Let me drop shit off in my chest here. Oh, I have a lot of these arrows. If I drop off 100, 10. Okay. Dagger of the Astarte I'll keep. I don't know what it's for, but sounds cool. Gambison, Royal Waiter Coat, Silesian Sleeve, Bring It Neat Sleeves, Laminar Knight Legs, Added Chaucer, Saxon Legs. Okay. Farmer's Horseshoes, I've got a couple of. Women's Hood, Work Dress, the Beef I'm gonna keep. Finger, hair of the dog. These don't weigh that much. I'll put in these 3 books and these few books that I have read. Lots of letters there. Oh, all this shit. The copper and the cow skin and all the blacksmith materials are bound to weigh some stuff. Yeah, there we go. A lot better now. Let's also put some dice that we don't use. Favorable. Put in the lucky ones. Just make it easier when we actually do. I don't know what this is anymore. Oh, that's nice. The beggar Damien has a room at the end. Okay, what else in town? Quest here.
Greetings.
You can't be here.
Oh, sorry. Oh, upstairs.
It happens. Just watch where you're going next time.
Catherine?
You said you needed some help with something. What's going on?
Something's happened. Oh, a real mess. And I need help from someone reliable.
What is it?
When I was fishing around for information about Liechtenstein, I cast the net a bit too wide. And one of the servant girls I questioned was just found dead.
You think she was killed because of you?
I don't know. If I did, I wouldn't be asking you for help.
I'll help you. Tell me all about it. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She was an ordinary, pretty girl. She worked as a maid. I heard they found her all hacked up, tossed somewhere by the town wall. Oh, folk in town are saying it was absolute slaughter. They took the body to the morgue by the St. Peter and St. Paul cemetery.
I'll go take a look at her. See if I can find anything.
I think that would be for the best. Though, I don't think it'll be a very pretty sight. You can ask the gravedigger for details. He'll know the most.
When did you last see the girl?
Around a week ago?
And did you notice anything suspicious about her?
Not at all. She was always cheerful, lively. She was looking forward to a dance. Though I'm afraid she won't be dancing ever again.
What was Alice trying to find out for you?
She always brought me the freshest gossip overheard from her master. And lately, what the other maids in town were saying.
And did you learn anything important from her? Something someone would kill her for?
That's the thing. All she brought me was gossip. Who was cheating on who wasn't going to confession, those sorts of things. So you'll have to figure out the rest for yourself.
What about your other girls? Are they alright?
Yes, fortunately. I'm careful enough to keep them pretty much in the dark about my plans. That's why Alice's death shocked me so much.
What are you gonna do next?
I'd like to ask the others if they noticed anything suspicious. If someone is following them and the like, but
But you don't want to scare them.
I'm scared myself. For them. Maybe nobody knows about them yet. If someone was to follow me, I could give them away. And I can't risk that. I don't
Oh,
want
somebody's
anyone
following
else
you,
to die
then now
because
they're
of
following me.
What if I go and see them?
They don't know you, Henry. You'd only scare them. I'll figure something out. In the meantime, find out everything you can about Alice.
Do you think there could be something bigger behind the murder?
I don't know. Maybe she just got caught up in something. But it's strange. Why would someone do her like that? That's the kind of thing you do when you want to send someone a message.
Why did you ask me in particular for help?
Because you're the only one I know here.
Aha.
But don't take it the wrong way. I'm actually glad it's you. You're pretty reliable. Not even Zhishka would be of much help to me here.
Aha. Thanks. I know everything I need.
Good. Go to that graveyard, talk to the gravedigger, and take a look at that poor girl's body. In the meantime, I'll try to find out more. Then we'll put it all together, and I'll be damned if we can't come up with something.
Okay. We're investigating a murder.
What's the hold up?
Now. Oh, thank goodness. They're right next to the castle gate, or whatever.
You there! Come back here! Look what the cat dragged in.
Let's see now. Talk to the gravedigger. Hey, František.
Good day to you.
You must be the local gravedigger.
That's right. They call me František.
Frant.
At least them that can speak do.
I'm Henry.
Greetings, Henry. What do you need?
I hear there was a murder here recently. Some young girl?
True. True. She's lying in the morgue. But who the hell are you? Another Gawker?
Another? Why would anybody come to look at her?
People ain't got no respect. As soon as news spread about what was done to her, folk are always turning up to have a gawk. Though if you ain't one of them gawkers, you must be one of them other types. Well, no, you can't shave her. No, no thumb for a souvenir.
I don't want to take anything. I need to find something out.
Like what exactly?
Who killed her?
Why?
I'm worried something might happen to my friend.
That's true. She wasn't the first, and we can only pray that she'll be the last.
Wasn't the
It's
first.
true that Lumiere ain't shown no interest in her yet. But I wouldn't expect that from him no more.
Who's this Lumiere? Another one of those gawkers and collectors?
No, no. He actually tried to help.
Help? How?
Well, he was investigating them others.
Right. You said she wasn't the first.
Aye. We had a couple of similar cases. Lumiere said they was all killed by the same murderer.
And who is this Lumiere?
He used to work for the local bailiff. I think he knew the first one what was killed, but that was a long time ago.
Do you remember how many girls were killed?
You mean you don't know nothing about it? Here, even the sparrows are squawking about it.
I haven't been in Kuttenberg very long.
I see. There's been one every few weeks for the past year.
Do you know where the last one got killed?
I heard some talk about it when they brought her here. But what do you want to do there?
Look for clues. Footprints, blood, anything.
That can help you.
That's worth a try.
I heard she was killed by the town walls, close to the hole in the
The
wall,
hole in the wall.
dodgy tavern in the Hoprink neighborhood.
Thanks. What's this Lumiere got to do with this?
Well, like I told you, he used to work for the bailiff. I think he was a scribe.
A scribe keeps records in the Black Chronicle. Though I've never heard of one doing his own investigations.
Well, the old bailiff wasn't all that interested in the common folk. But Lumiere, he was quite helpful. Folk heard about it and went to him with whatever was troubling them.
I'd like to speak with Lumiere. Do you know where I can find him?
At his home in Bohemia Street, that's near the church. You won't find him at the bailiff's no more. I don't know exactly why, though. Seems he had some quarrel with the bailiff.
Thanks.
It's my pleasure, especially helping... Actually, wait a mo. Speaking of the living, there's a girl what comes here and grieves over that dead maid. I think her name is Barbara.
And do you know where I
Okay.
can find her?
She said she serves in one of the burgers' houses. So either there or in the morgue with that poor dead girl.
Thanks again, Master Gravedigger.
Okay. Okay, we got some leads.
I'm sorry.
Fuck out of the way, priest. This ain't your rodeo. Oh. Oh, okay. The morgue is in the fucking church. Of course it is.
Are you Barbara? I'm told you knew Alice.
Alice. She was almost like a sister to me. We served together for years, in the same house. Why'd you ask? Who are you?
I'm trying to find out who did this to her. I'm afraid the killer might want to go after my friend as well.
Ah, I understand.
Who did you serve?
Our master is a local merchant. He is trying his hand at trading wine.
How did Alice get along with your master?
Fine. Just like with everyone. Our master is a bit strict, but he's fair.
What's his name? Can I speak to him?
Why? But you can't see him anyway. He's on a trade trip to Prague.
It occurred to me that maybe he could have done it.
No, he couldn't. He was gone when it happened. He hadn't been home in several weeks. And besides, why would he kill them others too? He never even knew them.
I heard about that. And also about Lumiere.
Well, if you're interested, go and see him. Maybe you'll catch him sober enough to talk sense.
Do you know of any suitors she might have had?
I know she was seeing someone. Why?
I'd like to talk to him as well.
But I don't know who it was. Alice said he was rich and dressed nicely. But she promised him she'd never tell anyone his name.
And you never saw him?
Interesting.
No, never. I don't even know where she met with him.
Do you know what exactly happened to Alice?
Nobody saw or heard nothing. One day, she just didn't come home. And then, they found her. Like this.
What do you mean, like this?
You haven't seen her yet, have you?
I haven't.
Then don't. It's a horrible thing to see. She was such a pretty girl. She had such beautiful brown hair. And it didn't even leave that untouched.
What do you mean?
Who could have cut off her hair like that? And why? None of it makes sense.
So, I'll leave you to mourn in peace now.
Well, this could be disturbing imagery, so maybe don't look.
So, let's see what we have here. My God! Someone really did a number on her. Ugh. They ripped open her entire belly. And they didn't stop there. There must have been buckets of blood. Jesus Christ. There's hardly any blood left in her. The place I found her must look like a slaughterhouse. I should go there and take a look. Her lips are bloody, but nothing more. Tongue still in place. But if he killed her for blabbing, I reckon he'd have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? These are more like chops than cuts. Somebody must have taken a sword to her. Knife wounds would be smaller, and an axe would have made a bigger mess. But it couldn't have been a long sword. That would have been clumsy. It was something shorter and nimbler. God, that madman cut off both her breasts and bits of flesh. But what did he do with it all afterwards?
What the fuck?
Did he really keep all the pieces? Nobody could be that sick, could they? Her face is a little bruised and cut, but nobody cut her there. But she has a dark ring around her neck. Was she strangled? The murderer must have had pretty strong hands, and her hair is all matted with blood and hacked off. I don't even know what colour it was. Maybe there's something more to it. What if the murderer kept her hair like some kind of sick trophy? Just some scratches and bruises, that's all. The killer probably surprised her. She didn't even have time to defend herself. So, the murderer must have awfully strong hands, because he strangled her and left a dark ring around her neck. Then he took a short sword or saber and started hacking at her. She's missing parts of her torso, but they aren't by the body. He also cut off most of her hair.
You know what? I don't think he killed her because of Catherine.
Cut off her breasts, but left her tongue. Then left her lying there for all to see. To send a message, maybe? Or a warning? Only if it was a warning for telltales, he would have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? I don't know why he killed her, but I don't think it's because of Catherine.
Go to the crime scene. Or go and see Lumiere. You know what? I'm gonna go and see this Lumiere fuck. He strikes me as very odd. Wait, am I gonna go and see this Lumiere fuck, or... It seems like the city doesn't want me to. I thought she'd be Catherine. Hey there, Lumiere.
Oh. Christ, my head. Not so loud.
I need to ask you something.
I said not so loud. I have a splitting headache.
That's some hangover. He's useless.
I've
to
got
me
some
like
good
this.
marigolds.
Unless I'm willing to wait for him to sleep it off, I'll have to get him some kind of cure or potion. This should sober... Here. Drink up. Better?
What? Who?
My name is Henry.
And what do you want from me?
I'm trying to find out who killed a certain girl. And I was sent to you.
To me? What for?
Are you Lumiere from the Rat House? The scribe?
I used to be. Now I'm just Lumiere the Madman.
Well, you don't look crazy.
Yeah. But I am. I see things in my head that aren't real. And then I point my finger at the wrong people. I'm the biggest madman in Kuttenberg.
But I need your help.
If I were you, lad, I'd leave it be. You can't help that girl anymore, anyway. You'll just end up hurting yourself.
Come now, Lumiere.
Poor girls. Nobody was all that interested in it, except for me. We let it be in the end. We let a monster walk among us. No way. You can't solve this yourself.
I need to know the truth. To find the one responsible.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, lad. But it's no use. I searched high and low. And what did I get out of it? Just mockery. What makes you think you can find out more than I did?
I'm better. I can use my brain.
Because I'm stubborn, and I don't have any other choice. I'll get to the truth no matter what.
You think that will suffice?
If not, I'd have been dead long ago. Bled out from a human arrow.
All right. Talk to me. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She worked as a maid.
A maid? That fits. Yarka was a maid too. As were most of the other victims. What did she look like? What did he do to her?
I think that he strangled her first, and then went at her with a longer blade and disemboweled her.
Did you notice the strangulation right away? It took me a while. Maybe you really will track him down.
Do you think it's the same murder?
Counting your girl, that makes 6 victims who were first strangled and then mutilated. If it's not all the same person, they must be collaborating somehow.
This is the 6th one. How long has he been killing?
Probably about a year now. Sometimes it takes him months, sometimes weeks. But I'm including missing girls. Stanya and Zdena.
Why are you counting the missing girls?
Because I think someone killed them, and we just haven't found them yet.
Did the dead girls have anything in common?
Aside from being pretty young girls with no proper family or background, no. I couldn't find much.
Do you think somebody is killing them because they're poor, and nobody will miss them?
Certainly. If somebody killed the daughter of a local lord, no stone would be left unturned.
But why does he even kill in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe he hates women. Damn it. I feel like I'm going in circles and can't get out.
What can you tell me about Yarka?
She wasn't the first. But thanks to her, people started taking an interest. She was a maid in a German family. By all accounts, she was a pious, polite girl. She was orphaned as a child. The priest from the Church of St. Peter and Paul, Father Prokop, raised her. They found her body tossed behind a barn at the edge of town. She was cut all the way from her neck downwards. An awful sight to behold.
Did you have any suspects?
At first, I thought the son from that family did it. A murderer is usually someone close, you know. But then I changed my mind.
Why?
Well, for one, I remembered the 2 girls before her who ended up almost the same. Besides that, when I talked to the lad, he seemed he wasn't the least bit interested in Yarka. Then his mother told me that they threw her out a week before the murder because she was a harlot who stayed out till all hours of the night. That really surprised me, because Father Prokop had vouched for her good reputation. But who knows? Maybe he just didn't want to admit what had become of her.
What about Stanya?
She was an alehouse wench in a tavern of ill repute.
Again,
called
the hole in the wall.
You said her body was never found. Maybe she just got out of town.
You have no idea how much I'd like to believe that. Only there was a lot of blood. Unfortunately, the investigation wasn't very successful. The hole is a world of its own, and the people there aren't very forthcoming with information.
I've got some
Did you
people there.
suspect anybody?
You could suspect every second man there. Those people have nothing but thievery and deceit in their eyes. The innkeeper, Mole, definitely knew Stanya, since she worked for him. But he isn't all that chatty either.
So if I want to learn anything more, I have to ask this mole in the hole.
Yeah, he still runs the place.
And what about that Zdena? You said her body was never found.
Exactly. But to tell the truth, nobody spent much time looking for it. Besides Alice, Zdena was the most recent victim. It's only been a few weeks since she went missing, but I suppose nobody wanted to do any more digging.
Why
If
is
her
that?
body was never found, how do you know she was killed?
Because she was the same type as the other girls. Maybe the prettiest of them all. Young, beautiful. A real live one. Lively as the devil. She was a thief. A pickpocket. I never could pin it on her, though. She always found some way to get out of it.
Maybe she robbed the wrong people. and had to get out of town.
Maybe. She had a partner in crime
Oh,
by the
I
name
know
of
him.
Strunad. Quite a number. He's always sitting in the hole, boozing. When I asked him about Zdena, he told me he'd rather rip his own tongue out than talk.
Do you think he'd be more forthcoming with me?
He might be. You're not known all over town like a catchpole. It's worth a try. Besides, it might
Motherfucker,
still be
I'm
fresh
known
in
all
his
over the
memory.
fucking country at this point.
That would be a great help.
And what about the other 2 victims?
It all started with them, though nobody did much about it at the time. The first one worked as a bathhouse maid. They called her Chestnut. She'd only been in town for a short while, and nobody really knew her. So I couldn't find out anything more. But the other one, Libushka, she was from Loretz. She was a maidservant, too. I also talked to her mother. She said she was really cheerful and outgoing. There were lots of suitors circling around her, but she refused them all. She knew she was pretty, and knew she could do better than some farmhand.
You mean she wanted someone higher up?
That's what it sounded like. But her mother never found out who she had her eye on.
Interesting. I'll try to see what else I can find out from the mother. Where can I find her?
In the graveyard, lad. The poor woman died of
Ah,
grief.
shit.
It's sad to say, but we can't help those 2 dead girls now. And they can't help us with our investigation either. There's nobody else left who could tell us anything about them.
Why were you looking into it? Who were those dead girls to you?
I don't know what people told you about me, but for many long years I was a scribe for Kuttenberg's bailiff. Kuttenberg is a big city with a lot of people. Silver, silver, silver. Mining it, smelting it, stealing it. There's always something going on. The bailiff was always running from hell to Hades, from one rich man to another, settling their quarrels. Often trivial nonsense.
But there are more than just rich burghers and lords in the city.
Exactly. There are common folk, too. There's a lot more of them, and their troubles are usually more serious. So when one of them came to the bailiff's one time, and the bailiff was running around somewhere, I started to deal with it myself. I was pretty good at it, too.
Behind the bailiff's back.
Not really. Andreas supported my activities until recently.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it. Sorry.
Did you have any suspects back then?
You can always find some suspect. I always dragged the most suspicious ones to the body in the morgue by force. And they threw up at the sight. Or fainted.
Couldn't it have just been an act?
Fainting? Vomiting? That's hard to act. I'd swear none of them did it.
Can you sum it all up for me?
We have 6 victims here. And I believe they were all murdered by the same killer. Unfortunately, we only know a little about the last 4, the most recent ones. By now, we won't learn anything about the first 2. Of the remaining 4, the first to be killed was the maidservant, Yarka. She was raised by Father Prokop from the Church of St. Peter and Paul. He should know the most about her. The next were Stanya and Zdena. Their bodies weren't found, but we assume they also became victims of the same murderer. They both hung around a tavern they called the Hole in the Wall. Stanya was an alehouse maid, and Zdena a pickpocket. And the last victim is Alice now, also a maid. What they all have in common is that they were young, beautiful, and brunette.
Good. I know everything I need to know.
When you learn something more, stop by and see me. You've aroused a bit of hope in me, lad. I hope you won't disappoint me.
Okay. Somebody is killing brunettes. Let's see this Father Prokop. Wait, can't see him? Or seems I can't see him. Fine. Let's discover something about Yarka's background for some reason at exactly that point in space. What? The fuck?
work for him to do.
Ah, here he is. Father Prokop.
Good day to you.
Father,
I don't have time for...
that's not why I'm here. My name's Henry, and I wanted to ask about the murder that happened recently. Someone killed and gutted a young maidservant and left her body lying by the city walls. And I hear it's not the first time this has happened.
Another one murdered. May the Lord grant her eternal rest. Why is it you ask?
Somebody is murdering maids here. We have to put an end to it.
Yes, but those poor souls are already at God's side. And revenge never...
I don't want revenge. I want to stop more killing. That's a better reason, isn't it?
True enough. What do you need to know?
One of the other victims was a girl named Yarka. But I reckon you know that, don't you? What can you tell me about her?
About Yarka. She was an ordinary girl. She served the von Groll family.
Where did you know Yarka from?
I knew her since she was a little girl. Knew her family.
And?
I was her uncle. When my brother and his wife died, I took care of her.
Okay.
Who do you think killed her?
William, that pig of Satan. He gambles in the tavern on All Saints' Day and leads the locals astray. Yarka always went there to listen to music.
Why do you think it was William? Do you have any evidence?
Evidence? He's a skirt chaser, a tool of Satan. He messes with poor girls' heads.
And does anyone else come to mind? No other man spoke with her?
No, absolutely not.
You raised her? A priest with a child?
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not the first of the clergy to have a child on the side. But at least everyone knew Yarka wasn't my own daughter.
No offense, but how did you know what to do? Without a wife, without a family? I would have been lost.
I was a bit, when she was smaller, it was fine, but when she grew up a bit, maybe I was too hard on her.
How does that even work? Did you have her with you at the presbytery?
When she was small, I could. But when she grew up, she had to go. It wouldn't look right.
Why do you think you were too hard on her?
Yarko was an orphan, with no family and no possessions. Her only chance of a good life was a good upbringing. And then, a husband. But the more I led her in that direction, the more she resisted me.
You're well off, though. Couldn't you provide for her?
I couldn't. Even if she had been my very own. More so, since she was my brother's.
But how come?
The church's property always remains the church's. They keep a close eye on that.
Of course they do.
How did she rebel against you?
She wouldn't listen. She ran away. She ran around with all sorts. And how did it turn out? She died. And in sin. Such a disgrace.
Disgrace? What the devil are you talking about?
She was pregnant! Even if she had lived, what then? Nobody would want to marry her anymore.
Why don't you respect Lumir?
That's my business. You needn't concern yourself about that. I won't tell you anything.
Come now, Father. I'm not just asking out of curiosity. This is about all the dead girls. Isn't it written in scripture? Speak up for those who have no voice.
A layman quotes the Bible to me. Fine. Lumia accused me of her murder.
What?
Yes. He slandered me in public.
And how... What happened then?
It turned out he was deranged. How could he even think such a thing? He's finished in Kuttenberg.
I've heard enough, Father. I'll be going.
Son,
Interesting.
I'll give you some good advice. Don't listen to Lumia. That man has gone completely mad.
I mean, that could be true, or you could be a fucking killer. Or maybe the truth somewhere in the middle, and you're both wrong. Separately. What else? What else? Zdena and Stanya. I need to go to the... Yeah, hole in the wall. No, other way. Interesting. I don't know if I like Prokop for the murder. I did before talking to him. But now I don't think so. Yo.
How can I help you today?
Did Estanya work here?
Stanya. Maybe. It depends on who's asking.
Who the fuck does it look like is that?
Names don't interest me. The main thing is whether it's a good guest or a bad guest asking. What kind of guest are you, Henry?
I'm a good guest.
Really? Let's see. Do you know how to recognize a good guest?
By the fact he spends a lot of coin?
Aye. I like talking to them kind of guests. A lot. So, what'll it be, my good man?
What if I simply paid you, and you tell me what I want to know?
Ask away.
I want to know if Stanya worked here.
She did. And she don't know more. What's it to you?
I heard she disappeared without a trace. So I'm trying to find out if anyone had anything to do with it.
It's possible. The chamber she was sleeping in here was totally ransacked. The door open. Everything emptied out. And Stanya was gone. All I found were bloody footprints.
Tell me something else.
First, you'll have another beer. Or is it time to pay?
What?
If you want to ask, you have to. I prefer to be... So, what...
I'm getting tired of this. I'll give you the money up front, and that now you're gonna spill it.
All right.
Did anybody see what actually happened when Stanya disappeared?
No, it was at night. Nobody saw or heard anything. The tavern tends to be empty at that hour. And you won't meet many people on the street, neither.
What was Stanya like? What can you tell me about her?
A bold woman. One has to be here. Everyone's ballsy here unless you nib it in the bud right away. She was hanging around a bard for a while. I don't know how close they were, but she also had another suitor.
Someone from the city?
No, a charcoal burner. I heard he was from somewhere in the, Verchlitz Valley. I think his name was Barton?
What do you know about that bard?
What about him? He's a minstrel, a skirt chaser. What more can I say? He called himself William. As far as I know, he plays in the Miners' Tavern in the evenings. But sometimes he shows up here, too.
You think he might have been the one who...
Now that you mention it, he cleared out of town for a while and only came back not long ago. It could be him, all right. I know he met with some odd people and talked about God knows what, like bloody spies. Besides, you know what minstrels are like. Lasses just flock to them. And like they say, opportunity makes the thief.
Or in this case, a murderer. Apart from those men, did anyone else know Stanya? I mean, more intimately.
Well, I got bad news for you. She had 2 close friends, but you won't get much out of either of them.
Why?
One was hit by a cart, even before Stanya disappeared. And she died. And the other one got married and moved away.
How did Stanya's room look?
The door was wide open.
This
Most
is the
of her
second
things were
time
gone,
we've
but
heard about
some remained.
William.
And there was blood all over the place.
Blood? Was there a lot?
Not so much, really. More like hand or footprints. But they were near everywhere. If someone done her in, they definitely didn't do it in that chamber.
Where can I find this Barton?
I already told you. In the Verchlitz Valley.
Could you be a bit more precise?
I don't know that bloke at all. All I know is he's a charcoal burner. So if I was you, I'd look somewhere around the charcoal kilns.
That's all I need to know.
Interesting. What about you? What's your face? Snod.
Sorry?
Are you Sternad? The one that went with Zdenna?
Who the fuck are you?
Just an ordinary bloke who has some questions.
Well then piss off. You won't get any answers here. All you're gonna get here is a kick in the teeth.
Why so rash? That kind of attitude will do you no favors. Let's make a deal. You tell me everything you know about Zdenna, and I'll make sure you're no worse for wear.
Ah. You're the lord what that whore robbed. Don't worry about it. She weren't nothing but a lying bitch.
So, if I understand correctly, we can make a deal?
For the right price, I'll tell you all I know.
Is this the right price?
You fucking bet it is. Ask away and I'll tell you everything.
Where can I find Zdenna?
Aye. That's what I like to fucking know too. Last time I saw her... Well, that'd be back when she managed to fleece you.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to find her.
I can well imagine. Well, she went to Rabstein Mill. It's quite a long ways away. She had some unfinished business with some bloke called Pine. Ain't nobody seen her since then.
What can you tell me about Zdenna?
What do you want to hear? I try to keep her out of trouble, but there's just no helping some women.
So you were taking care of her?
Well, just in front of the others. Other than that, she did what she wanted. Always made her mind up and did things her own way.
So you weren't too fond of her?
Not really, no. But she did have a knack for making coin.
Did she have any friends or lovers who'd know more? Did anybody come here to see her?
Who come to see that bitch? She was always off somewhere, seeing someone. Although, once...
Someone came to see her?
Well, aye. Some stuffed frog came here once. All old and decrepit. He said he had some job for her. That she should leave behind her sinful life and all that shit. But he left empty-handed. She told him to go to hell.
Do you know who that priest was?
Some fucking Prokop or Pravoslav or some such shit.
Prokop,
But that
huh?
reminds me. I saw her a couple of times with another bastard. That fucking bard, William.
Huh. Third time, William.
And could she have run away with this bard, William?
With that lily-livered fop? Well, he ain't been seen in town for some time, but I think someone was out to get him. He still don't come here no more. He plucks that loot of his in the miners' tavern. The wee shit.
What do you know about this priest?
Not much. Seems they knew each other from before, and he had some job for her somewhere, serving as a maid or something. But she weren't stupid. She told him to fuck right off.
And did he go?
Aye, indeed. He didn't look like the kind of fella that would knock some sense into a woman. I think he just told her if she changed her mind to come and see him. Or some shit like that.
And could she have changed her mind and gone to him? And that's why nobody's seen her?
No. She took off. I'm sure about that.
I've heard enough.
We have two main suspects. William and the priest. Interesting.
Easy, good horse.
How the fuck do I get out of this place? Through here and then I come through here, right? Or forward through here and to the left. Okay, let's go forward. Through that gate and to the left. Oh,
Don't you see I'm walking here?
I'm walking here.
Ow!
Okay. First is the F.
Quick. Quick.
Whoa, whoa.
I need to talk to a charcoal burner here, huh?
You're always welcome.
Barton.
I'm looking for someone named Stanya.
You're in a charcoal camp, fella. What would a woman be doing here?
But you know Stanya, don't you?
Aye. You could say that. Why?
I'm looking for the killer of a girl in town. And I heard that someone also tried to kill this Stanya.
That's true. She told me something like that. But that was a long time ago.
So you don't know what became of her?
I really don't know, mate.
But even if I did know, how can I be sure you aren't that killer?
Lumir himself, the Kuttenberg bailiff's former scribe, gave me the task. He was looking into her disappearance, and he sent me to find her.
Well, I don't know. I remember Lumir. He was alright. That's all true, but...
But what? What are you still brooding over?
You seem like the right man for a job like that. Sorry, but after all that happened to Stanya, I like to be careful.
So Stanya is here?
Aye. She's hiding with us. Since that thing happened, she's afraid to
Okay.
go outside. I don't know what to do with her anymore.
Can I speak to her?
If it'll help you. She's hiding in that cottage. But be nice to her. She's in a bad way. She used to be such a gutsy girl. Till we meet again.
Where the fuck is she? Here is her.
Who are you? How did you find me? If you came here to finish what you started...
Okay, so she doesn't know shit.
I'm not afraid of you. I'll claw your eyes out.
Don't be afraid. Barton told me where to find you.
Barton sent you to me. What do you want from me?
Lumir thought you were dead. I was supposed to find out what happened to you.
Lumir? From the rat house. He sent you.
Exactly. Someone killed a girl in Kuttenberg. Lumir thought it might be connected with you, so maybe you could help us find out who did it.
How can I help you when I haven't been in Kuttenberg since... I don't even know when.
Well, why'd you run away, huh?
You disappeared from the hole in the wall without saying goodbye. Without a word. What happened?
Someone attacked me when I was coming home from the baths one night. I managed to get away, but I was so afraid. I decided to run away from Kuttenberg.
Did you see who it was?
Not at all. I didn't see anything until he jumped out of the shadows and grabbed me around the neck. And he was terribly strong. I nearly blacked out right away.
And how did you manage to break free?
I had an empty pitcher in my hand, and I hit him with it. He howled and let me go, and I ran away.
Here? To the charcoal burners?
No, first to my room in the hole. But I was so scared there. I took what I could and ran. Here, to Barton.
And your lover? What did he say?
At first he was horrified, because I had cut myself on a shard from the pitcher and was all bloody. He's been hiding me here since then.
What was it like working in the hole?
Well, I earned a few groschen, that I did. But I often had to grit my teeth.
How so?
Every single day I had to put up with their lewd remarks. Rich or poor, everyone wants to grope a girl. People, well, us girls have to watch out. We can't just put up with it, and sometimes we have to be tough, especially in a place like the hole. But you can't overdo it either. That's no good.
How so?
Because if you smile at them nicely, then sometimes they leave a groschen, or even two. You have to keep a balance. To look friendly, but unavailable.
You said that rich or poor, they all like to grope girls. Like who?
Truth be told, the hole isn't exactly a good place for a rich man. But young von Groll used to go there for a while.
Is that so? Did he talk to you?
He smiled at me a lot, so I smiled back. But beyond a few groschen, there was nothing more to it. Then this thieving wench started hanging around him and... Oh, it doesn't matter. But that servant of his didn't like it, tried to drive her away, and so the young lord stopped bringing him with him.
Von Grolla had a servant with him?
Aye, a pudgy fella, well-dressed, but had a mean face. He never said a word or smiled, or even said thank you.
Okay.
You walked home from the
Poor
baths at
sus-
night?
What's so odd about that?
Well, at night, the baths are...
Ah, right. I went there after closing. I always brought the girls a pitcher of wine or ale and took a bath while they drank it.
Ah. So that's why you had the empty pitcher you hit him with?
Right. I went there regularly, every week.
The same way every time?
Aye, always the same way. The shortest one. I didn't want to stay out too long at night.
And who knew that you went by yourself to the baths?
Well, everyone from the tavern, I reckon. I didn't hide it.
So then also Von Groll, his servant, William, and probably the fucking priest as
Why
well.
didn't you go back to the hole?
Just to get murdered there? Are you mad? I'm never going back there. Not until they catch him.
How are you now?
I'm
The
still
attacker
awful
has a
scared.
scar, probably.
I can't fall asleep knowing that, and I can't even really leave the house.
Do you remember anything important about the attacker? What he looked like? What he was wearing?
I don't know anything. It was at night. He grabbed me from behind, and then I ran and never turned back.
And what about when you hit him? What did he do?
He let me go and cursed.
Aha, and what did he say?
He said Scheisse in German.
Oh, Von Grolle.
Seems you're the only one to survive the killer's attack. I know it isn't easy for you to think about it, but try to remember something else about that moment, or when you were running away. Anything can help us, even if it seems insignificant.
I don't know. It's all like in a fog.
You were walking down the street. Did you notice anything before he attacked you?
No, nothing.
You didn't see anything or hear anything?
Actually, I knew the side street wasn't empty. I heard somebody talking, but when I looked, there was nobody there. So when somebody grabbed me, I completely froze.
Did you understand what they were talking about?
Not at all. But there were two voices.
Von
Two of them
Grolle and
waiting
his
for me
servant.
there.
It's difficult, I understand. But I need you to think hard one more time. Aside from those voices and the empty street, what else do you remember?
I didn't hear him at all, and then he grabbed me.
And nothing else? Did he grab your hair?
Well, no. He grabbed me by the throat right away and squeezed, just for a moment, but I still had a big bruise round my neck for weeks. Barton
Yeah,
said
you
the
can
man
tell.
must have had a terribly strong grip, like a miner or swordsman.
Who the fuck was Mole?
I heard William liked pretending to be a spy. Do you know anything about that?
Aye, I thought it pretty silly. A stupid trick to make himself seem more interesting. Though, I reckon he's more likely to attract an ass-kicking than a woman.
Couldn't it have been that innkeeper then? You yourself said he's a pig.
Aye, when he drinks, he turns into a total bastard. All lewd remarks and groping fingers. The lecher. Only when I got to my room, I could hear him snoring. It couldn't have been him.
Couldn't it have been Father Prokop?
Father Prokop? I don't know him.
Well, he's pretty old. He preaches in the Church of St. Peter and St. Paul.
I don't know him. And if he's an old man, how strong could his grip really be?
I reckon that'll be all.
I'm sorry I'm not able to help you more.
You don't need to apologise.
Thank you. Could I ask you for a favour?
If it's in my power.
When you catch that bastard, would you please let me know? So I can finally stop being afraid.
I'll stop by if I can.
Farewell, my friend.
Okay, remember to come back to Stania. I'll put a marker here. Maybe... Maybe I remember to come back. Okay. Where else? Zdena. Zdena to the west. Joker's to the left of me. Well, Clown's to the left of me, Joker's to the right. Zdena to the west. Stania to the east.
Ka! Ka! Go! Quick!
Just take a short look. Oh wow. Still got a long ways to go.
Ka!
Maybe we'll let the horse rest a little bit while we take the shortcut through the hills.
Ka! Go!
Oh, don't fall.
Ka! Whoa! Whoa!
This is Rabstein.
My humble...
Are you Pine?
I am. Why?
I'm looking for his Denner.
I don't know any Stenner.
Sternad said something different.
You're a friend of Sternard's, are you?
Ah, God forbid. That's all I need. A friend like that bastard. But he was the only one who really knew Denner.
You're right there. Stenner was always cursing him. He was as lazy as a pig, but always wanted his share.
So you knew Denner? Can you tell me anything about her?
I know Stenner all right, but she ain't been here in some time. Why are you looking for her? What do you want from her?
I'm looking for a... Back in the city, they think she's either dead or run off somewhere. And you're the last person to see her before she went missing.
Kurva.
What can you tell me about Zdena?
She always had it hard. She lost her parents and her home as a child. She had to learn to take care of herself.
And what about Sternad? How does he fit into this?
Sternard was her guardian angel, as she used to say. If she hadn't been thieving with him, she probably would have ended up a whore. But by sharing with him, she could do what she wanted.
Uh-huh. I'm surprised she stuck with him as long as she did.
That's because she had a hideout somewhere nearby. That's why she'd come to me with her loot, before they taxed her on the spot. And the last time she was here, she said one more haul like this, and she'll be able to go wherever she wanted, to Prague or Vienna.
I heard she wanted to sell you some valuables. Is that true?
Oh, aye. She had a good haul. No rubbish. Mostly jewelry, rings, one signet ring with a coat of arms and everything. She left it all here. I paid her a pretty sum of coin. It was a good thing she had a basket with her. Otherwise, she couldn't have carried it all.
And what about that signet ring? Do you still have it?
She didn't sell me the ring. She wanted to keep it. Said it'd bring her luck someday.
Do you know what kind of luck she meant? Did you recognize the signet on the ring?
No, I didn't recognize that signet. But all the while, Dana was giggling to herself. I reckon she had her eye on another mark.
Where did she go next from here? You said she had a lot of coin on her.
That she did. She also had a feeling someone was following her. Someone on a horse.
Someone followed her on a horse from Kuttenberg. Did she say what he looked like?
She didn't. At first, she thought it was some wealthy lord out for a ride. But he held back. Never passed by her and...
And did you see him? Did he come all the way here?
No. But Stenna thought he would show. She even left her scarf here and paid some girl to walk around with it to make it look like she was still here.
And then where'd she go?
She wanted to go the back way, through the woods, so nobody could follow her. Past the woods is a road and a ford across a stream. Next to it is a huge boulder. When it rains, the water can rise fast. The road goes on to Kuttenberg.
Well, if it leads back to the road and there was really someone following her, I reckon if they saw she was long in returning, they could have waited for her at the ford, no?
Fuck! That's quite possible. I made a point of looking, but I didn't see any riders that day. So I forgot about it.
And could it have been Father Prokop following her?
What do I know? If he has a horse and fancy clothes. But why would he do it?
I heard he wanted to find her an honest job, but she wasn't interested.
I don't know. She didn't say nothing about that.
And could it have been William?
And who would that be?
He's this bard she was seeing.
I don't know about that. I don't remember her mentioning nobody by that name.
Well, I'll go and check out that ford. Maybe I'll find something there.
I hope you don't. Farewell.
I get a feeling I will. This is all
What
just...
is it you need?
Move the fuck out of... Fine. Okay, you did. So, he said... Past the woods is a ford. Cross a stream. Oh, this way. Okay. Never mind. We just take this road. Do I have any arrows? I'm just trying to... Trying to get some archery experience. Woo. Okay. Keep heading towards the ford or whatever.
That has to be that ford Pike was talking about. I should take a
Oh,
look
shit.
around here.
That's the boulder. Said something about a boulder, but I see blood.
This must be that basket of silver Stenna was carrying with her. She wouldn't have just left that here. But where did it come from? Maybe it rolled down the hill?
Wait a second. Uh-huh. somebody's dead around here, and I kind of get the feeling it's Dana. Whoever was on the horse must have waited for her. Oh yeah.
Poor
Shit.
thing. She didn't get very far. Ugh, she's been lying here a long time. At first glance, this body isn't as mutilated as the others. Unfortunately, I can't tell if somebody strangled her like the others. She's been lying here too long for that, but her head is smashed in. Either the murderer hit her with a rock, or dashed her hard against the ground. She must have put up a fight. Or maybe he lost his patience. Oh, she's all stuck to her clothes. They're torn up, but I don't see any cuts. The rips are odd. Like someone was looking for something.
Okay, she stole something from that lord, maybe?
But it seems as if the fingers on her right hand are broken. Did the murderer torture her? Or was he trying to get something out of her hand?
She had a ring, right?
My God. Oh, something fell out of her. A signet ring. Oh, that must be the one she stole. How did it get inside her? Did she swallow it herself? Or did the murderer shove it in there? Was she trying to hide it? Or was it punishment for stealing? Well, that's enough. But what does it all mean? I'd say she put up a decent fight, and the killer had to improvise. And that's about all I can find out. But that ring is a good...
Let me look at the ring. Is it a quest item or what? Yeah, of course it is. I don't recognize the family crest on it. Of course I don't. I still need to talk to William. Huh. Oh, I missed him twice.
Christ! I'm hit!
That's the least of your problems, buddy. Going to Groschen. This is what you had to stop me for, huh? Just to give me 0.2 fucking Groschen. Fucker.
Hi! I'm talking to you!
I am at your service.
Look what the cat...
Woof. Okay, we got some level ups. Let's see, vitality. Balanced diet. Next to godliness. Ah, let me get that. And speech. We have... I'll take ladies, man. Why not? Where's that fucking minstrel? Hello, William.
William, right? I need to talk to you.
What is it? Do we know each other? Do I owe you money?
My name's Henry, and no, we don't know. We have a lot of mutual friends.
What? What do you want of me? I don't have to talk to you.
Well, you don't have to, that's true. But you should. It's in your own best interest.
What are you talking about?
If you don't start giving me some answers right now, I reckon you'll end up begging in the streets. Because I'll break all your fingers, and you'll never play the lute again, you miserable minstrel.
What? No! Come on, I didn't do anything!
Stop whining and talk, or I'll be the one doing something to you.
Come on. All right then. Ask away.
Did you know Alice?
You know Alice?
I know a lot of Alices. You have to be more specific.
The one who
One they
died,
found
bitch
dead
tits.
somewhere below the town walls.
Oh, her. I didn't know her, but I heard about it.
They say she had a rich young suitor. Do you know anything about that?
Me? Do I look rich to you? I get paid in food.
But you could at least pass yourself off as wealthy.
Or I could claim to be the Virgin Mary, but I doubt anyone would believe me.
I heard she used to go to dances.
Yeah, and? I'm not the only musician in the city. I really didn't know her.
And did you ever meet Yarka? It was a long time ago, but I heard she used to hang around you a lot. And Father Prokop didn't like it.
Oh, that one. Aye, she was very keen on my company for a while, but then she stopped coming.
Because somebody killed her?
I know what happened was a tragedy, but it wasn't my fault. She stopped talking to me long before that. Honest.
And did you know she was pregnant?
What? Yarka was... That's horrible. Who would kill a pregnant woman?
That's what I'd like to find out. What about the unwilling father-to-be? It wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
What? Mine? I never even got under her skirt. We just flirted a bit. And then she stopped coming by.
And can you tell me anything else about it?
I don't know anything. It was a long time ago. You said so yourself.
Okay, what about Stenya?
And I hear you knew Stanya.
Which one do you mean?
The alehouse wench from the hole. I heard you had something with her too.
Well, she batted her eyes at me a couple of times when I was still playing there. A nice girl, but I didn't know her much.
And the innkeeper Mole told me a different story. He said you were the one coming on to her.
Fine, we had a bit of fun together. But she was always the one who started it.
Before she gave you the boot for an ordinary charcoal burner.
That's not true. She'd been seeing that charcoal burner long before she met me.
And you didn't mind?
Why should I? I didn't want to marry her.
So what did you want from her then?
You're yanking my pizzle, right? Of course I wanted to fuck her, but no, we never got around to it.
Someone wanted to kill her.
What? Her? Yeah, but... What does that have to do with me? It wasn't me, and I don't know anybody who'd want to do that either.
And what about Zdena? You knew her, right?
Do I know Zdena? As wild as the wind and always full of life. And those nimble fingers. You always had to check your purse around her.
Did she steal something from you?
A traveling minstrel doesn't have much to steal, but she was well aware of that. She was on the lookout for some better prey.
Well, Zdena's days of stealing are over.
They caught her. I told her she'd be better off traveling the world with me.
And worse, someone killed her. It's been a while now.
So her too? Jesus Christ.
I'm afraid so. I'm sorry.
Thanks. Though it should have occurred to me since you're asking about her.
You don't happen to know who she wanted to rob?
There were lots. Anyone she thought was rich enough who let her ply her charms for a while. Like young von Groller. When he started coming here, she got him right away.
That was another name on my list.
And might she have stolen a ring from him?
I don't know. I had to disappear before she succeeded. Look, why are you asking me about all this? You don't seriously think I killed her, do you?
Well, you did know them all.
And? I'm surely not the only one.
That may be true. But everybody knows you're a skirt chaser, and they were all pretty girls. And now, they're dead.
But I had nothing to do with it!
I don't think he did it. But maybe I pressed him.
Confess, or this won't end well for you.
What do you mean, won't end well?
If you come clean and get lucky, they'll hang you. If not, you'll get the rack. So, did you do it?
No, I didn't!
I believe him.
Good. I believe you. But if any clue leads me back here to you, I won't give you a second chance.
You won't hear about me again, I swear to God.
All right.
What else? Inform Lumiere. Where the fuck's Lumiere again? Okay.
Well?
I found out some interesting things about those murders. Just like you said.
That's wonderful news. But wait a while. I promised Catherine we'd wait for her.
You know Catherine?
How the fuck
she
do you
came
know
to see
Catherine?
me soon after you did, and started asking me questions. Just like you.
Will you send for her? So, we're all here.
I hope nobody else shows up. How did it go?
I reckon I've found out all I can.
And do you know who the murderer is?
Not exactly, but I have a few ideas.
I've asked around a bit, and I have my own suspicions.
Is that so? See, I was trying to recall some more details, and I had someone come to mind as well.
I didn't do all this for nothing, did I?
Well,
Well? Who do you suspect now?
Well, I'd say William did it. The minstrel.
You can't be serious. He's innocent.
I think so too.
And who do you think it was?
Prokop. I'm sure of it.
No. Really? That's impossible. It couldn't have been him.
So I see we disagree. Too bad. We could have been done with it quickly.
Well, who do you think it was then?
I'm not entirely sure. First, I'll tell you what I found out, and then it might be easier for us.
Go on then. Starting with who?
Let's talk about Yarka, the one raised by Father Prokop.
What did you learn about her?
Prokop
was
didn't
raised
just
by
raise her
Father
out of the
Prokop.
goodness of his heart. He was actually her uncle.
Really? But he still could have killed her.
His own relative?
Why
Why?
not? He's a priest. I'm sure he knows the story of Cain and Abel.
Prokop also admitted that he didn't know how to handle her, and perhaps he was too strict.
What do you expect from a Bible thumper? Man punishes and God forgives. It never occurs to them that if man didn't punish, God wouldn't have to forgive.
Well, maybe I wouldn't hold it against him. He really tried to make sure she was well taken care of. He wanted to find her a husband, too.
And did you learn who he found?
No. I think it fell apart when Yarka started rebelling. Yarka started working for the von Grolla family, where she remained until her death.
I was there to ask whether she'd given them any trouble, but they said she was always thorough and reliable.
Ah, so what's the story with von Grolls?
A very wealthy and important family. The mother is quite devout, known to spend a lot of time in prayer. Old von Grolla's been sick for years. Can't even get out of bed.
So, who runs affairs?
That would be young Hendel. They say he's quite successful.
Before her death, I heard she often went to dances.
There's nothing wrong or surprising about that. But maybe she found someone there.
Maybe. Prokop was convinced that she went to see William. That was actually the only name he mentioned.
That doesn't mean anything.
It means she had some relationship with William, or at least knew him.
And now, most importantly, Yarka was pregnant when they killed her.
I didn't know that. Do you know for sure? So they gutted her.
Here's the
To make it
thing.
impossible to tell she was pregnant? I wouldn't be surprised.
May God forgive
There's...
Do you know who she was pregnant with? Because if we know who the father is, we'll likely know who the killer is.
She didn't tell Prokop.
It had to be someone from those dances. Maybe William.
Yeah, but there's one... How can I put this? There's one type of family that murders you for being pregnant with their kid.
Prokop is convinced
And
that
that's
she was
rich
murdered
folks
by
if
that
you're
bard,
poor.
William.
And I agree with him.
So
I heard
I'm
the daughters of
thinking about
important men
Von
come
Roll.
to see him. It even went so far he had to flee the city. And the moment he's back, there's another murder.
Really? But I found out you accused Prokop first, Lumir.
What? Why?
It doesn't matter. It was a mistake. And I paid for it.
And were you as sure then as you are now about William?
I don't think so. But he's a skirt chaser. If he got Yarka pregnant, then...
Perhaps. But why would he kill and mutilate her? He could have just run away.
But then he could never come back.
Why not? He could come back a year later, once things have died down, the child would be born, the shame forgotten, and nobody would bring it up again.
I suppose that makes sense. That's all I was able to find out.
You still found out more than I did.
But it's not enough. We still don't know who the killer is.
But we can't agree that she was killed because of her pregnancy, can't we?
Agreed. Somebody got rid of her to make sure nobody found out she was pregnant.
I'm sure William wanted...
William isn't the only man with a prick. And he certainly didn't use it to strangle her to death.
Such language. What are you trying to say?
That William isn't the only man in the city. It could have been anyone. And now we'll never find out.
Shut the fuck up, Henry. There could have been 3 people.
Though I don't think it was. It just seems foolish to only focus on him.
I suppose you're right. Let's forget it.
I found Stanya.
I managed to find Stanya.
Alive? You found her alive?
I did. Alive and well. Hiding with the charcoal burners.
So, she's not one of our victims?
No, she is.
She just managed to escape the killer. She said
And
she
here's
was
the thing.
attacked on her way home from the baths. She heard
She was
someone
attacked by
talking in
2
a side
people.
street, but it was empty. But when she walked by, someone grabbed her by the throat and started strangling her.
And how did she manage to get away?
She was holding an empty pitcher, and she smashed the killer in the face with it. He either got startled or hurt, but he let her go.
Did she get a look at him? Did she take his eye out or something?
No, she didn't stop to find out. Just ran. Which is probably why she survived.
And what about the blood in the bedroom?
She cut her hand on the broken pitcher. She didn't stay in her room for long. She was still so scared that she grabbed her things and ran off to her beloved charcoal burner. I asked Stanya if she knew Prokop. She said no.
Maybe she just doesn't remember him. Or he gave a different name, or...
I don't think Father Prokop is the type to frequent the worst tavern in Kuttenberg.
Stanya admitted that she knows William. He flirted with her and tried to get to know her better, but nothing came of it.
And that's probably why he wanted to kill her. And likely rape her before that.
Well, perhaps, but Stanya doesn't think so. She's sure it wasn't William, and no matter what they say about him, in her eyes he's a good lad. Besides that, she also recalled hearing 2 voices in the alley. Someone was talking to the killer.
So we have a witness.
No, not a witness. An
Or an
accomplice,
accomplice.
dipshit.
If I remember correctly, the other one must have seen the whole thing, right? And he didn't go to report it.
Yep.
She also said she was sure it wasn't Mole. He may be a pig, But the evening she ran home, he was in bed snoring. She said she returned from the baths in the evening regularly, and somebody knew exactly which way she would take and where to wait for her.
You mean someone followed her beforehand to figure out where to ambush her?
Who knew that she went to the baths?
Apparently, everyone in the tavern. She didn't hide the fact. Well, according to Stanya, the murderer had a terribly strong grip. Her neck was bruised for almost a month.
Doesn't almost every man have a strong grip?
Depending on what they take in hand every day. A tankard, a quill, or a hammer.
Except none of our suspects are miners or blacksmiths, eh?
No, but one of them's a fucking
According
swordsman.
to Stanya, the murderer didn't say a word the entire time.
That's strange, right? I'd expect him to at least call her a whore.
The only word he uttered was when she smashed him in the face with the pitcher. He said Scheisse.
Yeah.
So we're
speaking
looking
German.
for a German?
Von Grolle.
Even I say Scheiße sometimes, and I'm not German.
And that's all that Stanya told me.
I'm so glad that girl is alive.
Me too. At least someone's had a little luck. Does she want to come back, or will she stay with the charcoal burners?
I don't think she'll come back. She's so scared now they'll come back for her, she doesn't even leave the house. I managed to find Zdena.
You found her? Is she alive too?
No.
Unfortunately, she's dead.
And where did you find her?
Pretty far away. Near the mill she used to sell things at. Someone caught her in the forest when she was coming home with a load of coin and killed her. I reckon she put up a hell of a fight. So the killer got nervous and ended things quickly.
So he didn't strangle or mutilate her?
She'd been lying in the woods for a long time, so I couldn't really tell. But he definitely didn't hack her up like the others. Judging by what her accomplice said, she robbed someone good. She had so much jewelry on her, she could hardly carry it. And what's odd is when she was murdered, the killer left her basket of valuables behind.
So I reckon he didn't kill her for the money.
Father Prokop came looking for Zdena and nearly cursed her on the spot.
What did he have in common with a thief?
He had also looked after her, but unlike Yarka, she ended up on the street, and he took it badly. Zdena tried to rob young Von Grolle. It's possible she succeeded.
Von Grolle? Yarka worked for them, didn't she?
Ah, that whole family is suspicious.
Assumptions. Nothing more.
I'd say it's pretty obvious. Why else would I have found that ring on her?
They just left the ring by her body? That's odd, isn't it?
It wasn't by her body. It was inside of it. I don't know if she swallowed it herself or someone shoved it in her.
Ah, that's awful. But I can't say it surprises me.
Okay, so
My
the
mouth is starting to hurt from all
ring
this
is Von
blabbering.
Grolle's. Okay,
So
so
am
it's
I
fucking
ears
Von
and
Grolle. What the
head.
fuck?
Come now, we're nearly there. We just need to find our suspect. So, Henry, who do you think did it?
I suspect one of the Von Grolles.
What leads you to think that?
Are you sure it wasn't William?
I'm pretty fucking sure Yarka was pregnant with his child.
Yarka was pregnant. And if the father was young Von Grolle, it would make sense if he got rid of her.
Sakura, you're right.
But William could have fucked her too. Just saying.
Zdena robbed Von Grolle.
That's true.
It's all coming together, isn't it?
Alice had a young and wealthy suitor. And young Von Grolle fits both descriptions.
True, true.
We could be getting somewhere.
Yarka was their maidservant until she started rebelling, right?
Yes. Do
I think she was rebelling 'cause she was
rebelling
fucking
because
pregnant.
of someone in particular?
Perhaps the young lord?
That's possible.
And that's all I can pin on him.
So, do we agree that it was young Von Groll?
Well, old Von Grolle can't do much now, can he?
So do we really agree that our most likely suspect is young Von Grolle?
Aye. I agree.
I don't have a problem with it. Little rich boys are capable of anything. But what are we gonna do about it? Our suspicions aren't enough.
They're
They go
just
in and kill him.
marvelous without something more tangible.
So
They
you
won't
want to
laugh
search
after I
their
kill him.
house?
There's nothing else we can do. There must be a clever way to do it.
We have to find some evidence. None of our conjecture is enough. What will we do?
You could sneak in there.
Or break in?
Catherine, that's not necessary. The young lad wants to learn swordsmanship, and the old one is sick and always calling for a physician.
So I can either pretend to be a sawbones or a swordsman, or break in? That's a lot of options.
You're a clever lad. You'll figure it out.
Okay. Okay. Seems like there's a bit more to the quest. I thought we'd finish it in this session. But apparently we want fucking evidence, because evidence is what people look for. In the 15 fucking hundreds.
Crazy?
When they kill women for being witches. Oh, fucking hell. Now all of a sudden we're aching for evidence, eh?
Can I...
Is this the house of...
Yes?
I'm Henry of Skalitz. Master Menhard from Frankfurt sent me to train young Master Hendel in sword fighting.
I'm sorry, but I...
Are you telling me I'm not expected?
No, this is surely my mistake. But...
When should I come?
Best before noon. Farewell.
Oh yeah, you look like a prick. Okay. You know what? We'll save here. And I'll see you in the next one.